doing today? Just gonna stretch. I feel like I've been like hunched, but feeling better. All right, so as I wait for everyone to log on, I'm gonna show you my new tarot deck. I feel like I've been really blessed in getting a lot of tarot decks. My sister actually got me this deck. It's called the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. So it's really cool. So my sister got me this for my birthday. So I'm going to show you some of the cards before I get into this reading, and then at the end of the reading I'll pull one. So this deck is by Kim Kranz, and she has the Wild Unknown, which is a very popular tarot deck if you're familiar. And she created this animal guide one, so it's all animals. Like I love, look how like flashy, like yas, give me life. I love the packaging of it. It's so cool. And yeah, like the cards are super awesome. I have a guidebook here, so definitely be consulting this to figure out what all the animals mean, because I'm not super knowledgeable about a lot of animals. But I'm going to show you a couple of the cards before we get going. So we have the stingray, and also too, it's kind of cool because it's like your own association with these animals, and that's kind of a new offering to bring into your tarot reading. So it's going to be kind of interesting. Like I just got this a couple days ago, so I haven't used it a lot. I've just been pulling a daily animal card for myself, which is also a cool new way to practice, because sometimes I'll either do like one tarot card a day or one oracle card a day, or like combine the oracle card and the tarot card together. But since quarantine, I've just been at home, so I really haven't been pulling the daily cards because my life isn't changing that drastically internally, instead of when I was externally out into the world. Like you would go to work, you would encounter people, and that's when you would start seeing the cards show up a little bit more. So it's definitely very interesting reading tarot for yourself during this time, and just even pulling the daily cards during the quarantine. But this is a cool way to like mix up your practice, so I think this is going to be kind of part of my new like reading, is pulling an animal card, and yeah, just seeing like how your association, negative or positive, with these animals influence your readings. So it's cool. I love this one, like the cheetah one. So what's really cool about this deck is that they are divided into different elements. So like the cheetah is more of like a land animal, and it's like more speed oriented, so like fire energy. And then we have like the water animals. So on the cards they have like these little different symbols here, so you can tell like what suit it's in. So this is like a different one. You see like the triangle, and then this one has an upside down triangle, and this one has a line through the triangle. So I'm like figuring out as I go how to connect the animal to the element and reading it that way. So but yeah, so yeah, these are just some of the cards. This is actually my spirit animal is a bear. I got my palm read a couple years ago in Chicago by this phenomenal tarot reader. If you want, phenomenal palm reader. I think she does read tarot too, but she's more of like a professional palm reader, and she's a millennial. She's only a couple years older than me. She's a witch, so she's amazing. And if you want her information, I would totally send it to you if you ever find yourself in Chicago. But she said that my spirit animal was a bear, so kind of cool. I'm like learning about that. But yeah, like I'm not gonna show you all the cards, but but yeah, there's like golden eggs, like dragonfly, dragon. So not all the animals are like, you know, in existence, because dragons don't exist in today's world as far as we know. Cobra. So anyways, that's just a little bit with this deck. So for those who missed it, it's called the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. She has two other decks, the Wild Unknown, which is her most famous one, that's a tarot deck. It's not just animals. And then she has one that's in a circular shape. I think that's like goddesses, or like some, it's a little bit more like ethereal. So So definitely check out her things. And she has like children's books too. Like it's so cool. Like definitely goals for sure. But yeah, that's, you know, one of my newest decks. So thank you for letting me show that with you. And I'm going to be posting more pictures of like using this deck. Definitely like as time goes on, like on my Instagram. But I'm going to keep this to this side because we're definitely at the end. We're going to pull one of these cards. So that's going to be cool. So also, you may have known from following me on Instagram, I've been talking about it throughout the weeks, is that I do have an ebook coming out this weekend or possibly Monday. We'll see. I can't rush the craft. I was going to premiere it today, but it needs a little bit more time, and my Capricorn stellium is like, no, it's not ready yet. So, you know, definitely still like in the final stages. I'm just being very like nitpicky about everything, like editing, double checking the spelling, like everything is going to be Gucci before it's going to be offered for you for purchase. So I can show you a little bit. It's just like I'm going to use actually one of the spreads today, but yeah, some of these spreads, there's 70 spreads. So all these spreads are originally designed by me. I did all the artwork. Everything's completely 100% done by me. And it's going to be a PDF you can download. And yeah, just have it on your tablet, like wherever you go, like on your phone, like wherever you know, read tarot. And like it's very versatile, so you don't have to worry about, you know, having to bring your laptop with you and Googling a spread really quick. Like it can just be something that you have as you go to. So that's going to be available, and eventually once, you know, this virus fiasco subsides, I'm going to publish it into a physical book. But right now, for the next couple months, it's going to be available as an ebook, and that should be up on my, I'm going to put the link up to purchase it probably either Sunday night or Monday, depending on how long it takes me to kind of finish the last tweaks. So yeah, so that's going to be offered, and it's going to be awesome. I've been working on these spreads for 3 years and compiling them together for you guys. It's going to be an awesome tool. Like I was just shuffling through it, and I was just like, wow, like what spread am I going to use today? There's so many good ones. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be really cool. I think you guys are going to really love it. And if you read tarot, you know that it's hard to find spreads out there, and a lot of tarot books are made by like older people, like older generations, and this is like, we need like the millennials to step up and start like producing more, publishing more tarot books, because we have a voice, and our voice needs to be heard and acknowledged, because we're the future of tarot. And I feel like it's very important that you know, this book is going to be available for you guys, so you can help with your journey with tarot and help other people. If you're reading for clients and stuff down the line, you can use these spreads too, not just only for yourself, but for other people. So that's going to be offered. Look for it on Monday. I'm going to start promoting it, and you can download it, and yeah. So, okay, so let's get into the reading. I have tea with me. On the altar, I have the spreads, the decks we're going to be using. Like every week I use mostly the same decks. I have Spolia Tarot, which is my favorite tarot deck, has the astrological signs as well as the 4 elements, and this is created by Jessica Crispin and Jen May. We have Morgan's Tarot, which is an oracle deck from the 70s, so this has a little more like hippy dippy messages. We're going to be using this throughout the reading. And then I have postcards from Liminal Space that is created by Bakar Winter and Christian Berry. So we're going to be using this. This is the younger sister to Morgan's Tarot. I have a couple crystals on the altar. I have clear quartz spear, satellite. This has been my baby with writing. Like all you writers out there, you need to get satellite. Like it is insane how focused and clear-minded you are, and like how your intuition and like, I don't know, like these divine forces at play, like manifest themselves through the stone, and it helps with writing so much. Like I got so much done this week just by having satellite next to me as I'm like typing. So definitely, you know, get your satellite. Everyday Magic is where I got mine. It's a big palm stone, so huge fan. Lapis, have rose quartz, incense holder. Going to be burning some lavender incense. Fluorite, smoky quartz, hematoid quartz, have some carnelian, and then orange calcite. So a lot of creative lower chakra stones, because we're going to do my new spread that is only going to be available on my ebook. This is not going to be posted on my website or Instagram. So if you want to start using the majority of the spreads I'm going to be doing throughout these readings, then you can purchase the PDF and have 70 spreads available to you. But we're going to be doing the root chakra spread today because I feel like a lot of us need to connect with our root chakra. So our root chakra is the first one in like the chakra system. So you see like all the little colors, like little balls, if you've seen like a chakra chart. So chakras are like the energy flow through your body, and it's all connected. So if you have one chakra, they call it like out of alignment or like in alignment. So if you have a chakra out of alignment, it affects like your entire body. So for example, you might be depressed, or you might feel like you're uninspired creatively, like you have creative blocks. That is coming from your solar plexus and your sacral chakra, and those are like the energy points through the body. So in order to align your chakras and clear them, you need to put them back in balance. And a way you can do that is through meditation, is through color therapy, doing different sound vocalizations, eating certain foods, holding different crystals. There's so many things you can do to kind of raise your vibration. So that's why I created available on my PDF all of the 7 chakras. There's definitely more. Like there's like I don't know how many, but I'm just focusing with this edition on the 7 chakras. So yeah, we're gonna get into the reading. So we're gonna do the root chakra spread. I'm gonna take a sip of my tea because it's nice and hot. I have Florida water here and sage. So I'm going to light this incense. Okay. Oops. Everyone, if you don't have it already, get your water, something to cool you down, to drink. And the sage is the death of me. Not my favorite sage, I will say. Like, I'm like wondering what's going on. Like, I don't know. There we go. There's a little bit of fire action happening. But, okay, so let's cleanse the altar. Cleanse these decks. Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Very important. Cleanse these guys. So how are we doing, fam? How are we doing? I think it's been a month of quarantine. I'm like, oh my god, time has just slipped away. But I don't know. I'm feeling good. Like Mercury is still in Aries until the 27th. So next week or sometime end of this month, Mercury's gonna be going to Taurus. So it's a great time to really, you know, continue being inspired and creative. Like there's no time like the present, and Aries energy wants us to do that. It wants us to create. So definitely next month is going to be wild. Like everything's going to retrograde. Like it's insane. So we're going to be talking about that definitely in the next couple of weeks of like the cosmic shit show that's going to be happening. I mean, it might actually be good. I think that's going to lower the effects of the virus. But if you look at the astrology ahead for like 2020, it's just been like, there's no year like it. It's been crazy. It's definitely been cray-cray. I'm just like, wow. I haven't, I'm still alive. Like I haven't died yet from these cosmic shifts. Florida water. Definitely if you're a tarot reader or you're like a crystal whore like me, Florida water is life. So definitely a great cleanser, and it's great for like perfume and fragrances too. So if you like don't have any perfume right now, you ran out during the quarantine, get yourself some Florida water. It's like $3, super cheap. That was a nice one. That was like crisp. All right. Okay. Gonna shuffle. So I don't know if anyone is from the Midwest or have this like by them, but there's this pizza place in the Midwest. It's called Jet's Pizza, and it is amazing. And we just got it tonight for dinner, and I'm just like so excited to eat more later on today. But Jet's Pizza is the best, and all you New Yorkers out there, I don't know, Midwest pizza I think is still much better. It's the water, they're saying, I don't know. It's just the way you make the dough, but definitely I love deep dish pizza. I went to school in Chicago, so definitely had my fair share. I missed that. And yeah, Jet's Pizza is where it's at. It's like doughy, and it's so good. It's like a blanket of love with the cheese sauce and everything. All right, so I'm gonna lay out this spread. Move the crystals. I'm looking at my laptop if you see my head turn. That's where the spread is at. It's not on my iPad yet because I'm still tweaking and editing everything. Okay, so there's that. And then I'm just going to shuffle Morgan's and postcards really quickly. So many cards. So many cards, so little time. Woo, 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 woo. Got some jumpers, but we're not going to use them because that was like 5. So usually if it's like one jumper, I'm like, I'll let it slide, I'll do it, but not today's scene. Yeah, I guess in the meantime, as I'm shuffling, I'll tell you about my band shirt. Wise Blood, one of my favorite musicians. She is just, she has like the voice of an angel. Like I saw her last year in New York, and at Webster Hall. It was one of the best shows of my life. It was amazing. So definitely check her out. She has some awesome merch right now available. And it's like a very 70s like kind of sound too. It's like indie rock, like 70s. But she's one of the most talented musicians of our generation. So definitely check out Wise Blood, and order her merch, all the things, because her albums have changed my life completely. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just gonna talk about my favorite things. You gotta promote what you love, you know? Or then is it real? I don't know. Okay, let's get into the reading. Calm ourselves, loosen up our bodies, get the kinks out of our back, take a sip of water. Okay. So this is the root chakra spread. So I talked about the spreads I'm making. So the root chakra is located at the lower base of your spine, so like bottom. So bottom like energy here, and it's all about being grounded, and it's all about security and feeling like you're at home, not only like in your own physical environment, but just home in the world in general. Like, are you connected to the world in general? Do you feel safe? Do you have the resources of money, of food, of shelter? Like it like rules all of that, like security and remaining grounded. So let's go with the first card. So question number 1, what is our current state of security right now? Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, and we pulled this last week actually, so we have a stalker card coming through. So with our sense of security, like we are finding collectively, we're finding new ways to open up our heart, to find our passions, to dive into our creativity. And you know, true love and romance has been highlighted. Venus is going into retrograde in Gemini next month. We'll talk about that later. the next couple weeks when that is a little bit closer. But, it's a time to express yourself. Like, fall in love with something, have a new beginning. Do something you've always wanted to do that's been put on hold, but that is how, we can find security. We can find security in our creativity. Like, finding security doesn't have to mean like a physical thing. Like, I find security with the money I have in the bank. Like, we're cosmically shifting. Like, we're trying to realign and revalue what it means to hold something sacred in our lives. And no longer can we rely on the institutions, the government, the patriarchy to support us, to make us feel like we have a sense of security. We're going to have to figure out how we can find a sense of security within ourselves. And that is why the ACE is coming up, because the ACE is the inception of a new idea. It's the beginning of the suit. It's the beginning of opening our heart and trying to find emotional connection to what is true to us, not what's true to society. And that's the energy that we're shifting into. It's a beautiful energy, but it's a start. Like, it's just beginning. We're just trying to figure out and kind of like figuring out the tweaks and molding it so we can make it ours, and how we can figure out this new chapter together and bringing more love and kindness. Like, every week I'm seeing more and more fashion designers get together, and more like people donating hospital gear, and like fashion designers coming together to make masks, and like my friends coming together to make masks. Actually, one of my really good friends and my personal photographer, Monica, is making the most amazing masks. So if you want to order some of those, definitely I'm going to promote her in my stories. So I just have a couple of them are coming on their way. So definitely, find ways that you can support people who are doing good for others and who are taking time out of their quarantine to help the collective. Like, that is the energy we're trying to shift into, and that's a very beautiful, positive energy. Like, I love seeing the Ace of Cups show up again as a reminder and as a confirming card that no, this energy is here to stay. Like, we're here to do this work of opening up our heart chakra, of opening up ourselves emotionally to care for the first time in forever. Like, a lot of us like haven't give a damn in like years, and now it's like we're finally starting to embrace a connection, not only with ourselves but intuitively with other people around us, and like banding together. And that's what's going to save us and shift us forward. So I think that's awesome. Like, I love seeing the Ace of Cups showing up. Okay, so card number 2. How can we feel better about belonging in the world? So how can we feel better belonging in the world and embracing who we are? So we have the Devil reversed here, and Devil has been showing up, but it's kind of showing us that we're working on a lot of old ideas. Like, we're moving away from this Capricorn energy, and there's a transformation happening, a shift happening, because the Devil is represented by Capricorn. So we have to start thinking, okay, how has our career shifted? How has our career changed? How has our status in the world changed? And, we feel, how can I feel a better sense of belonging in the world? For such a long time, we relied on our status and our achievements to determine who we were. We relied on the salary and the job title to define us, and no longer is that going to be what we need anymore. And we're starting to realize that a lot of us are out of work. A lot of us, aren't able to go up the corporate ladder in ways that they thought. Like, their career's on hold. Their plans, goals, and ideas are on hold for how they were going to do the work at their office or like in their career, whatever it was. So, the Devil reverse is showing us that we're already starting to revitalize what's important to us and how we're going to show up in this world and what it means to have status in this time. Like, what is success? Like, we're redefining what success is. Like, success is no longer working in an office from 9 to 6. Like, that's no longer success. Success is no longer having that title of CEO or whatever it was that gave you status in this world. Like, that's no longer it. So the Devil reverse, like, we're unchaining ourselves from these titles that people were putting on us and what we thought was important. Like, what's not important is how much money is in your bank account. What's not important is, what's on your resume. Like, we've been talking about this for the past couple weeks now, is that, we're moving away from these patriarchal structures of what is important and what isn't. And we're starting to realize that, we're in crisis mode. This world's in crisis. The world's on fire, and none of that stuff is relevant. What's relevant is trying to figure out a way to continue to love and to find compassion and connect with our intuition and align ourselves with that so we can help other people. That's more important. You want to come out of this, like you want your status to come out of this in the world as a helper, as a giver, as a connector, as a lover, as a friend, as a supporter. You don't want to come out of this as like, you know, wealthy or CEO or successful. Like those terms, those words don't really mean anything anymore. And that's what we're starting to see that breakdown. And it's been happening since I've been doing these spreads and these lives for the past couple weeks. We've been seeing like we were in this very patriarchal place, and it already has been slowly breaking down. And now we're seeing that, wow, like we really are collectively coming together and shifting our perspective and shifting what's important to us. So the devil reversed, I like to see it. I like to see that dismantle and transform into something else. Like, I don't know what that is yet, but we'll see, throughout the weeks and with these astrological retrogrades that are going to be happening next month, how that's going to change for everyone. But right now, your life is more important than your job and your career and what people think about it. So number 3, how can we feel more grounded collectively? Take a sip of my tea. So how can we feel more grounded collectively? So we have temperance. So we have another major coming up. And, this is like the beauty of the story, like of tarot. It's like temperance comes through after the devil. And it's just like showing us that there's peace, there's tranquility on the other side of fear. And we have to embrace that. We have to embrace that there's something better coming out of this than what we're, currently thinking. Like, we have to start having this energy come through, because temperance is represented by Sagittarius. So, there's a combination here, there's a connection here of, kind of going backwards in a way. Like, we, because it's Sagittarius and it's Capricorn. So we're getting out of this Capricorn energy and we're shifting now into the Sagittarius energy of freedom, of enlightenment, of philosophy, of spontaneity. And it's connected with this Ace of Cups, because what is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to intuitively connect with? What is it that you want to love and embrace? And temperance is coming up to show us that, we want to embrace freedom. We want to embrace a new world. We want to create a new world. We want to actually have the chance to create the new world. And we're going to be able to do that now, because we have the devil reversed. We have taken off the change that was bounding us to our vices. And we always had, like, the devil, the trick of the devil card is that it's our fault. Like, we're the ones that's keeping us chained. Like, we want to blame it on someone else. They're the ones who are doing this to me. They're preventing this to me. They're preventing me from, achieving A, B, C, D, E. But really, it's like, once you start doing the transformative process and looking in the mirror and taking accountability, you are the devil. You're your own demon. The demons live inside you. The demons are out in the world, but the ones that affect you the most are internally. And once you unchain yourself, once you start having the transformation of moving forward from your destructive patterns, belief systems, whatever it may be, that is when you find the temperance card. That is the resurgence. That is the gift, is that enlightenment, is that new beginning, is that freedom, of that peace of mind. It's like, wow, like, I went through that chapter of caging myself, of not believing in myself. And now I'm able to have freedom and embrace the unknown. And that's a beautiful energy, because there's nothing like freedom. It's so hard to find freedom. It's so hard to continue to have it, because it wants to get, people want to take it away from you. Like, these institutions want to take it away from you. But temperance is showing up is that we're going to be able to ground ourselves in this energy that we're in control of it all. And that we can come through a place of peace and compassion. Like, we're not going to put our energy towards war, and we're not going to put our energy towards patriarchal systems once we start having this beautiful enlightenment come in of temperance. And also, temperance is a card that connects with your ancestors as well. So messages from divine, you know, making sure like that your ancestors are with you. They always are with you, but again, like acknowledging them and letting them inspire you and lead you to a different path of enlightenment. And that's, I don't know, that's the gift of Sagittarius. That's the gift of temperance. Is that freedom, is that joy, is that love for life again. And, you know, we might not be able to live life on our terms 100%, but we can now find a new sense of freedom or enjoyment at home or doing something differently this time around than, you know, starting a creative project, starting a new relationship, like whatever it may be. You know, there's going to be we're doing something new now. So that's kind of fun. Okay, so let's get to card number 4. So how is this chakra in balance or out of balance in our lives? And how can we maintain this chakra's health? So I'm going to pull another card. All right. So first question was, is this chakra out of balance or in balance for the collective? And how can we maintain the health of this chakra? Okay. So we have the High Priestess reverse. So we have another major kind of card showing up. And then we have the Three of Swords. So this is just a very obvious intuitive message, because the High Priestess rules our intuition. It rules our feminine desires that are internalized, that we don't get to express on the daily. And we haven't been able to express them because we were confined by the devil. The devil was holding us back from expressing our needs and expressing our desires in our intuitive thoughts. But now we kind of have a place to do that. We have a foundation to do that. But it's going to take us some time to get our footing back together, because for so long, for generations, we've been confined with patriarchal energy. And that is why the High Priestess is reversed, because this chakra is out of balance for us, because we're in a pandemic right now. Like, we don't 100% feel grounded. Like, we eventually will feel grounded once we start realizing we're no longer slaves to, you know, this system or to ourselves. Like, once we start taking off the change and having the enlightenment, it's when we can fall into temperance energy, which we have been starting to fall into this energy collectively, but we have to believe it. We have to believe that we're worth it, we're deserving of it, and it's aligned with our destiny, and that's what we intuitively need. But, you know, on a physical level, maybe on a spiritual level, you know, we are feeling more of a sense of freedom, or, you know, there's things are going to be different. You know, we maybe can't see 100% the new future that's being molded and shifted, because a new future is being formed right now for us. We just, you know, we're just in the moment. We can't 100% see what's on the outskirts of what's happening. And the High Priestess wants us to all intuitively come together and know that things will be better. That we just have to trust ourselves. We have to trust our feminine desires. And we have to trust in saying no. You know, we need more. And like mentally, we need to start, you know, connecting with those messages. But how to maintain this health of the chakra, we have the Three of Swords upright. So, you know, parts of our foundation have to die, and that's okay. Like, we have to kind of stab what no longer serves us, like in the heart, to kill it. But with the Three of Swords, it's also a card of heartbreak and, you know, things ending, and it might seem unfair and like, woe is me, I can't believe this happens. But that's where the temperance comes in. It's like, you know, you thought that things were going to be horrible. Like, you didn't think there's going to be a rainbow after the storm, but here's the rainbow. It's going to be okay. You just have to trust your intuition that the universe has you. Like, things are not always going to be unfair and not work out for you. Like, that's not the way the world works. Like, spirit, divine works from something shitty happening and then something better happening that's 10 times, you know, the reward than what we could have expected. There's always something better awaiting us once we're in a cycle of distress or disarray or confusion or hardship. There's always something better on the other side. But in order for us to reach that gift, reach that enlightenment, reach that beauty, reach the temperance, reach the peace, we have to go through the storm. And we should be able to go through the storm easier now because we're no longer chained by the devil. We no longer have to succumb to working a 9 to 6, most of us. I mean, and if we still are working a 9 to 6, it's unconventional because it's at home now. So, you know, we still have some more breaks and a little bit more freedom because we're working in our PJs instead of like, you know, whatever, suit and tie. Like, you know, we're still starting to, however, like, tiny or slow the chains are coming off of what's binding us, like, you know, it's happening. But the Three of Swords is here to show us that we need to stab some areas of our foundation. Like, a lot of us are maybe realizing, you know, these contracts I signed, like for this house or this apartment or this relationship, like, I don't need this. It's time for me to kill areas of my foundation that are no longer aligned with my intuition, so I can elevate and continue to raise this chakra and have freedom and choice and the new future that I want to create for myself. So a lot of us are going to be ending things. We're going to be ending friendships. We're going to be ending relationships. We're going to be ending jobs. We're going to be ending, you know, contracts that we've signed that were no longer serving us. Like, there's going to be a lot of endings happening. And I'm not just saying this is going to happen, you know, tomorrow. This is going to be collectively happening throughout the next couple months. We're going to start killing what no longer serves us. And we have the sword in our hand because we are no longer chained. Our hands are free to kill those things that no longer serve us. But we have to trust and know that it's ultimately for our higher purpose and it's our higher good to kill those things that no longer serve. So let's get into card number 5. How can I maintain a deeper connection with my physical body? So the root chakra is also connected to our physical body, our physical health, physical well-being. So we're going to pull that card. Okay. All right, so we have the Three of Cups reversed here. And, you know, that's okay. Because, you know, in a way, we are having a deeper connection with ourselves and with our physical body by not going out all the time. Like, a lot of us, you know, our lifestyle was, you know, going out drinking and like doing a lot of social gatherings, like eating out all the time at restaurants. Like, you know, our physical well-being maybe has improved. Like, we're no longer like spending a bunch of money on food and alcohol and at these restaurants. Like, even though, you know, yes, we need to do that, but, you know, maybe a lot of us didn't have a lot of self-control. I think there was like a statistic that the average American was spending $200 a week on alcohol. I mean, that's a lot. Like, before this pandemic. And it's just, you know, the Three of Cups is kind of showing up as like, you know, we have to celebrate differently this time around, but, you know, not going out all the time is kind of healing our physical body, and it's also healing the earth. Like, we're able to, you know, have less pollution, and the trees are able to grow, and the grass is able to grow, and the plants, like, because of we're inside, the earth is healing, and that is with the root chakra. Like, the roots in the ground are literally healing, and like a healthier earth is going to be beneficial for us as humans. It's going to make us a healthier person. Like, the air is going to be healthier and change for us, and we're going to be able to breathe again. I mean, living in New York City, it's like you go down a street or like a block and it's a different smell on every corner, and it's not always good. Most of the time it's not good. But also too, it's like we're killing aspects of, you know, ourself that no longer serve. And in return, you know, we have threes here. And one's upright, one's reversed. But this is in the suit of emotions. This is in the suit of our mental thoughts and actions, and how we are connecting with other people and influenced by other people. And then we have the ace here. So right now, you know, there's new beginnings happening for us and new creative ideas flowing into our lives. But it's for us. It's for us to grow and heal. It's really not so much for, you know, trying to show off to other people, or, you know, it's like we need to find a way to be our own best friend. We need to find a way to enjoy our own company. And that's what the 3 reverse is showing up as. It's like, we're in quarantine. You know, we're stuck with ourselves. We can't distract ourselves by being out and celebrating with other people. Now we have to find our own sense of entertainment, our own sense of enjoyment, and making a deeper connection with our physical body by being in it, by being home with it, and not trying to push it out into the extroverted world and have the extroverted world decide what it means. Like, we really have to kind of take this as like, you know, I can't really see my friends and I can't, you know, do a lot of these things that I used to be able to do as a blessing, because you get to be your own best friend at this time and establish that relationship with yourself. So let's pull one more card and I'll do a couple of those. Just do a, you know, conclusion card here. And we have the Lovers upright. So again, you know, the message is loving ourselves, loving the work and the transformation that's been happening, but also, you know, having that love for others. Like, we have this, you know, Ace of Cups here, starting a new relationship, and maybe it is aligned. But the Lovers is more of a card of how you're communicating with your needs, how you're communicating with your partnerships in your life, and also your relationship with yourself. Like, everyone always thinks like the Lovers is a card that is mostly for, you know, romantic love. That's actually the 2 of Cups that hasn't showed up. We pulled the 2 cards that are on the side of the 2 of Cups. We didn't pull the 2 of Cups. So this isn't really pinpointing a romantic love. This is mostly pinpointing the relationship with yourself and how that is growing. And it's beautiful. We have 4 majors. Like, this is a major time for us. We have 4 majors showing up. And I think that's beautiful. Let's just pull a card from Postcards, and we'll pull one from Morgan's in the Spirit Animal book. So the Lovers is great. I love seeing the Lovers, and I love that, you know, it's connected with the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Swords. It's like, heartbreak's going to happen. We have to end things that no longer serve so we can put ourselves first, because there's no one else to put first at this time besides ourselves. We got to put ourselves first, and we can't forget that relationship, because the most important relationship you will have in this world is with yourself. And if you don't love yourself, that's a problem, and your root chakra is out of alignment, because it starts at the base. And you have to be grounded in that love, and that is how the root chakra is representing with this card. Okay, so pull that. And then, okay. All right, so rearrange this. So we have close the portal, and then there's nothing you can do. So, you know, close any, you know, don't get rid of any contracts. Close portals that no longer need to be open. And I'm not talking about, you know, this could, yes, represent, you know, a portal from another world and whatever. But also, you know, we're traveling through portals all the time, spiritually. And, you know, if there's a relationship that's broken, a friendship that's broken, or you no longer, you know, want to put your time and energy towards this thing, close the portal. You don't have to keep portals open right now, because you physically can't go through them, you know? So it's like, you're at home because there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do right now besides stay in quarantine and stay at home. And figure out how you're going to kill what no longer serves now that you're free. There is freedom in confinements, because you're able to be with yourself and create this self-love. And, you know, you're getting a new sense of freedom of enjoying your own company by not being out in the extroverted world right now. Like, you need a break from that. We all need a break from that. And it's because it's tiring. It's tiring to constantly be extroverted. It's tiring to always go to an office from 9 to 5, 9 to 6. It's tiring. Like, our physical bodies are tired. And that's what this root chakra is showing up out of alignment, because we're tired. Because intuitively, for such a long time, we didn't really want to be doing most of the things that we were physically putting our body into. But now, we're able to close the portals that no longer serve. And we no longer have to go through them. We no longer have to go to the office. That's a portal that's closed. We no longer have to, if we're in a relationship and it's long distance and it hasn't been working for a while, we no longer have to maintain that relationship in quarantine because we can't see them. So closing the portals, and if you don't know what portals to close, sit with yourself, connect with yourself, and find the love and cherish yourself, for what you need and want at this time. Because there's nothing you can do besides be stuck with yourself right now. And if it's not good enough for you, then release it, let it go. Like, you no longer have to put time and energy into things that no longer serve. And that's what these cards are showing up as. So I'm going to pull one card from the Animal Spirit deck, the Wild Unknown. Okay, I'm like running out of space on my table. About 14 minutes left. Yay. We have done a lot of work, and then there's still a lot more to do. But that's tarot for you. Tarot's like, so you thought. So you thought that was it. You thought the chapter was over. Here's a new one. So, but portals are closing, chapters are closing. Now that we're no longer bonded by this devil energy. Because once you close a portal, a new one will open. And then you'll be able to step into it. So, get the guidebook here. Alright, so let's pull. So, we have Dragon here. So, here's Dragon showing up. Find it. Okay, let's pass it. Dragon. Seeing one's true self and balancing the ego. So, isn't that the Lover's card? We need to, see our true selves because there's nothing else that we can do. So the dragon sees everything. Its essence has been with us since before our first breath and will be there at our last. It watches us navigate the external world, as well as our inner world. When dragon energy is awakened, we are courageous, visionary, and can easily drop into witness consciousness. It is almost as if we are traveling with a great friend inside of ourselves. That's actually beautiful. It's almost as if we were traveling with a great friend inside ourselves. And isn't that what we all want? We all want to be able to love ourselves enough to explore our internal world. And that is how the Temperance card is coming through, because this is Sagittarius energy. It's about travel. It's about enlightenment. It's about philosophy. It's about spontaneity. And that's the beauty of Sagittarius energy, is that willingness to express and push themselves into the unknown. And that's what the dragon is calling for us, is to hone in onto that relationship, cherish that relationship with ourselves. Anything that is working against our relationship with ourselves needs to be deleted from our lives. And that's how we're going to express that love for ourselves, is being able to travel as a great friend in our inner worlds. When we look in the mirror, deep into our eyes, we may even see a glimpse of the self behind the self, the one who is watching us. And that is how the High Priestess reverse is showing up, is that we need to start looking in the mirror, but really seeing who we are. Going beyond the makeup, the hair, or whatever. Most of us aren't wearing makeup right now, but we really need to go and see beyond our physical body and into the soul. And that is the eye of the dragon, and that is how it's showing up for us, is that we need to glimpse the self beyond the self. And Aries rules the self. Like, we're still in Aries for a couple more days. On Monday we're going into Taurus energy, but Aries is all about knowing who we are. It's all about the self. And a lot of people don't really grasp how important it is to know yourself, because we get so distracted by the external world. What the dragon is showing us is that our inner worlds, our intuition is stronger. Our intuition, we have to start acknowledging, and we really have to start owning our personal power and realizing that feminine energy is stronger and longer lasting than masculine energy. Masculine energy is the self. The feminine energy is the real self. It's beyond the self. And, you know, we no longer need this masculine devil dick energy. This is the power of the dragon, breathing transformative fire into every cell of our bodies. We must let the dragon guide us and help us surrender what no longer serves, as we traverse even the most difficult terrain. The dragon's eyes see beauty everywhere, and that is true. So the dragon is described as sacred fire, inner fire, and sacred intelligence. And the intelligence is within you. And the intelligence is within us. And that is what we need to start grounding ourselves in. You know, once we start killing what no longer serves, once we start stepping into our own beautiful energy and really connecting with our soul and our physical body, is when that inner wisdom and that intelligence will really take fire and really take precedence in our lives. And that is going to be a very beautiful energy with temperance showing up. So the eye of the dragon is watching all of us, but now is time more than ever to close portals that no longer serve us and that we are no longer walking through, because at this time there is nothing we can do. We can no longer walk through portals that no longer serve. But what we can do is continue to find new ways of creativity, find new ways of connecting and honoring our intuition, and finding new seeds to plant in the ground so they can sprout into love. Because we don't need the external world to validate us anymore. What will validate us is ourselves, and that is what we ultimately have to remember during this time. So that is the reading for today. Thank you so much. And this is going to be available on my story for the next 24 hours, and then I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, and the link in my YouTube channel is on my website, and my past readings are on there as well. So if you want to watch the past couple weeks, because we do have a couple stalker cards showing up right now. So definitely see how, you know, the spread has been playing out the past couple months with our intuition. It's been guiding us collectively. So thank you so much. And if you want a personal reading with me, I am available. You can DM or email me for a personal reading, and look forward by Monday my tarot ebook to drop. So thank you so much, fam, and stay healthy and safe out there. Bye.